the Prime Minister, completely enraged by what he had to say about the BJP's Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi, saying that if Narendra Modi becomes the next Prime Minister of the country, it would be a complete disaster. Let me get in our panelists this afternoon to further discuss this, not just discuss the Prime Minister's speech, the third press address that he's given in the past 9 years, but also discuss that reaction that has just come in from the BJP President Rajnath Singh. We have with us our political editor here at NewsX, Priya Sehgal, from outside the venue where that press conference of Prime Minister was held. There's also Mr. Ajit Sahi, senior journalist, with us right here in our Noida studio. Diptosh Majumdar, our national affairs editor, also at our Noida studio here with us. We have Mr. Mohandas Pai, who is the chairperson of Manipal Global Education. He's joining us from Bengaluru. Dr. Ajay Alok, who's the spokesperson of JDU from our Patna studio. And Mr. Jayanarayan Vyas, spokesperson of the BJP from the Ahmedabad unit, as well as Mr. Tehseen Punewala, who's the founder of the youthcongress.com from our Mumbai studio. Well, before we start that reaction, I've been told that we have to get a hang of what all Prime Minister really said to the press this afternoon in that exclusive press conference that he had. Take a listen in.
I have indicated in my opening remarks that I am not going to be a candidate for the Prime Ministership if the UPA were to come back into power. Rahul Gandhi has outstanding credentials to be nominated as the presidential candidate, and I hope our party will take that decision at an appropriate time.
Right, Mr. Ajit Sahi, a quick reaction from you on that. He's already announced his retirement. He's already said Rahul Gandhi is the best man with the best credentials in the current times for that position. And something that has completely enraged the BJP there for the manner in which he slammed their Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi, especially after what Rajnath Singh there pointed out, that if you have the courts and the SIT completely give a clean chit with respect to the Gujarat riots there, it's absolutely unfair on Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's part to be making that remark in the first place.
Well, the second point first, it is not unfair. Of course, it's fair for the BJP to claim that Mr. Modi has yet emerged unscathed technically and legally, but it's not unfair of the opposition, which in this case is the Congress party, to say that Mr. Modi had presided over, because the jury is still out. That judgment, that ruling has been appealed, and there was a lawyer who was the amicus curiae, a part of the SIT, Supreme Court mandated SIT, who had given a different report. But that apart, I mean, today we are talking about what Manmohan Singh talked about, his press conference. It is, of course, it's quite expected. It was expected that this is, by calling this press conference, he's going to announce that he's eventually due for retirement and he will not be up for a third term. Of course, it's very surprising. He says Mr. Rahul Gandhi has impeccable credentials to lead the party. Well, the only impeccable credential is that he is a dynast. He's from the Gandhi dynasty, probably the best known name after Sonia Gandhi for the Congress party. But the truth is that there has not been much success except for Karnataka elections and small ones like Himachal Pradesh. The Congress party has faced a barrage of criticism for its failure to tackle price rise, inflation, for its failure to improve the economy, which has been downhill, which has headed south, and especially on the issues of corruption, for which the Prime Minister could not talk about. And in fact, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, I mean, even on the Adarsh, the building scandal, it was amazing that he said, my view is, he is the Congress Vice President, the putative Prime Ministerial aspirant. What does he mean by saying my? So I think there's a lot of task cut out for Rahul Gandhi from here on, between now and the next elections, to make sure that he's seen as Prime Ministerial for anybody to take him seriously.
Right. In fact, let me get some quick inputs from Kumar Vishwas with us also. Your big takeaway from the Prime Minister's...
10 साल में 3 बार बोले उन्होंने देश पर बड़ा एहसान किया, बड़ी कृपा की. एक बार तो शेर सुनाकर ही चले गए, हजारों सवालों से अच्छी है मेरी खामोशी, न जाने कितने जवाबों की आबरू रख ली. इसे बदल के पढ़ लेते तो अच्छा होता. हजारों सवालों से अच्छी है मेरी खामोशी, न जाने कितने दलालों की आबरू रख ली. कोयला दलाली, स्पेक्ट्रम की दलाली, रॉबर्ट वाड्रा की जमीन डील, सब पर वो चुप रहे, कभी नहीं बोले. खैर, अब देश आखिरी 4 महीनों में इस तरह की बातें सुनने के लिए तत्पर नहीं है. प्रधानमंत्री कुछ भी भाषा बोले, देश अपना वर्डिक्ट तय कर चुका है, अपना जनादेश तय कर चुका है। कांग्रेस अपने राजनीतिक जीवन के न्यूनतम स्कोर पर पहुंचने वाली है। 50 तक आंकड़ा अगर कांग्रेस छू पाई तब भी हम समझेंगे कि देश ने उसको सस्ते में छोड़ दिया।
उसी पार्टी ने समर्थन दिया आपकी सरकार को, दिल्ली में आपकी सरकार बनी है और प्रधानमंत्री खुद कह रहे हैं कि पीपल ऑफ इंडिया हैव शोन कॉन्फिडेंस इन आप, वी मस्ट रिस्पेक्ट द डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसेस, दे मस्ट बी गिवन अ चांस टू जस्टिफाई देमसेल्फ।
मैं फिर आपको स्पष्ट कर दूं कि कांग्रेस ने हमें कोई समर्थन नहीं दिया है और ना हमने कांग्रेस से समर्थन मांगा है। मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल ने कल सदन के सामने दिल्ली के हित के 18 मुद्दे रखे और कहा कि 70 के 70 लोग दिल्ली के प्रतिनिधि हैं। इन 70 के 70 लोगों को दिल्ली की हित चिंता करनी चाहिए। मैं भी दिल्ली का हित चाह रहा हूं, आप भी चाह रहे हैं। आइए इन मुद्दों पर काम करना शुरू करते हैं, क्योंकि हमको गवर्नर साहब ने भी कहा है और आम जनता ने भी कहा है। हम जनता के नैतिक बल से, नैतिक समर्थन से आई हुई सरकार है। उसमें अगर कांग्रेस के साथी भी खड़े हुए और 2 निर्दलीय भी खड़े हुए तो हम उनके आभारी हैं कि वो इतना दिल्ली का हित सोच रहे हैं। चलिए, अंततः उन्होंने दिल्ली का हित सोचा, उन्होंने 15 साल नहीं सोचा।
कह रहे हैं कि आपको मौका देना चाहिए, जल्दी नहीं करनी चाहिए और उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि देश के लोगों ने आप पर भरोसा किया है।
इसके लिए आभार। मैं उम्मीद करूंगा कि प्रधानमंत्री भी अगले चुनाव में हमको वोट करेंगे। उनकी भी एक असम में वोट है, हम असम में भी लड़ रहे हैं और प्रधानमंत्री को अपने उन नेताओं से भी संवाद करना चाहिए, बेनी प्रसाद जी जैसों से जो मुझे जोकर कहते हैं, सलमान खुर्शीद से भी बात करनी चाहिए कि क्या उनका हमारे बारे में अब बयान बदल गया है, जो गटर स्नाइप्स हम लोग हैं। शीला दीक्षित से भी बात करनी चाहिए कि मानसून पेस्ट और गैंग ऑफ गाजियाबाद है। तो हमको तो इन बातों की अभ्यास पड़ गई है। पहले अकेले कांग्रेस की ओर से होता, अब कांग्रेस भाजपा दोनों की ओर से होता है। कल बड़ा दुख हुआ, मैंने जीवन में पहली बार किसी सदन की कार्यवाही देखी पास जाकर कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के वरिष्ठ, तो हमको तो इन बातों की अभ्यास पड़ गई है। पहले अकेले कांग्रेस की ओर से होता, अब कांग्रेस भाजपा दोनों की ओर से होता है। कल बड़ा दुख हुआ, मैंने जीवन में पहली बार किसी सदन की कार्यवाही देखी पास जाकर कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के वरिष्ठ नेताओं ने, जिनमें हर्षवर्धन जी भी सम्मिलित थे, अरविंद केजरीवाल के पत्नी और
Right, that was the AAP leader Kumar Vishwas there, giving a small reaction to Prime Minister's speech there that was given out in the national capital, the rare press conference that the Prime Minister had with the media. Let's once again take a listen into what exactly Prime Minister really had to say as far as Narendra Modi is concerned. Take a listen in.
I do not believe that I have been a weak Prime Minister. That is for the historians to judge, and the BJP and its associates may say whatever they like. But if by strong Prime Minister you mean that you preside over the mass massacre of innocent citizens in the streets of Ahmedabad, that is the measure of strength. I do not believe that sort of strength this country needs, least of all in its Prime Minister.
Right, Diptosh, do you agree with the line of thought when Prime Minister there directly attacks BJP's Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi? They're calling him someone who's residing over a mass massacre.
Well, that was a definite time in the speech when I really thought that the Prime Minister was talking along political lines. The rest of his speech was so insipid today. The rest of his interaction with the media was so insipid today. This was the only time where he appeared a little outraged. This was, as I pointed out earlier, a very belligerent press conference. The questions that came from the media is usually not so harsh. In the previous 2 press conferences that Manmohan has held or hosted, the PMO never felt so attacked, so entrenched, so beleaguered from all sides. Today there were quite a few questions which were very sharp, which were very targeted specifically on the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister was obviously not very uncomfortable answering them. And these are the 2 or 3 times when he chose to go out against Narendra Modi that he really rendered a political message. He had come out to definitely set the agenda right, that his governance has followed the right path, and ensure on the 3rd of January that whatever happens on January 17, whoever is anointed the Prime Minister gets a good support, good backing from him. But that has not really happened. He has been forced to defend himself entirely on the defensive, and these are the 2 times he went on the offensive and did some political work for the Congress.
Right. Dr. Ajay Alok, for the manner in which Prime Minister Manmohan Singh has been defensive about his party, is there something that you feel that the Congress, including Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, is really feeling nervous at the end of the day about Narendra Modi's following there across the country?
No, I don't think that he's feeling nervous about Narendra Modi. Rather, we welcome his statements that because he himself belongs from a minority committee, and a statement coming from the Prime Minister of this country regarding Narendra Modi would definitely strengthen the secular forces in this country. And the belief of minority in secularism in this country has been strengthened by these kind of statements. It's a long time. We wish that statement should have come much earlier. Second, about this today's speech, what we feel from as a JDU, as a political party, he was talking of social inclusiveness, what his government has carried through. But we just don't see the social inclusiveness as far as the backward state goes. The state like Bihar, Odisha, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, and when they themselves have set up this Raghuraj Raman committee report, and they have been sitting idle on this report for the last 1 month. Now, this is what we call as the policy paralysis, or we call this as the paralysis created by the allies. So this he should have clarified on this issue. That's what we are concerned with right now.
Right. Tehseen, do you think Prime Minister Manmohan Singh should have really been so pointed about his attack against Narendra Modi? Agreed that he was asked a pointed question, but should he have been so pointed in his reply as well?
Well, he's the Prime Minister of the country, and there is a person who's claiming to be, who wants to be the next Prime Minister. And the fact of the matter is that the person who wants to be the next Prime Minister of this country is a divisive figure. The fact of the matter is that the person who wants to be the next Prime Minister of the country has presided over the greatest genocide that this nation has seen. The fact of the matter is that it is a state-sponsored genocide. If the Prime Minister... It is not a good thing that the Prime Minister spoke up. It is the duty and the responsibility of the Prime Minister to speak up on this. And I'm proud of my Prime Minister for speaking up on this issue.
Right. Our correspondent Priya Sehgal, in fact, our political editor there with us. Priya, what are the feelers that you're getting there from outside the Congress office there, and also from the location where Prime Minister Manmohan Singh held the press conference? Was it really so important for him to make that pointed attack?
No, it definitely was. He needed to salvage his reputation, because if you saw, all the questions were, why are you so meek, why are you so mild, why are you known as Mr. Manmohan Singh. He was asked all these questions about his silence, so he had to take the initiative and turn the direction from a defensive press conference, as Ajit Sai said, to an offensive one. He turned it into an attack towards Narendra Modi. And that's the only positive really that came out of the press conference. That's the only headline that we got out of it, apart from the fact that he also announced his own resignation. That was part of a rehearsed script. We know that on 17th of January, the Congress is called an AICC meeting where most probably Rahul Gandhi's name will be announced as the prime ministerial face of the Congress. So in that sense, Manmohan Singh was sticking to a script. This is the last chance that he really has, for salvaging his reputation. So as you saw, as Diptosh pointed out, the questions are very hostile. They were very pointed. They talked about his lack of clean image, the corruption targets that PMO. So at the end of the day, when I spoke to some PMO officials who were there, they were saying the two big headlines really are that he took on Narendra Modi. He was not as defensive as you guys make him out to be. He is offensive Prime Minister. He can hold his own. This is the spin that the PMO guys are trying to give us at the end of the press conference.
Right.
And for that, they only have his attack on Narendra Modi. Apart from that, he was very apologetic, praising Sonia Gandhi, praising the dual system. There was nothing very, aggressive about the Prime Minister except when it came to Modi.
Mr. Sahi, do you agree with that? I mean, are we really going to call this the big takeaway from his speech, apart from the fact that he listed out multiple achievements made by both UPA 1 and UPA 2?
Whatever he listed out and his, best moments and history and etc., etc. I mean, all that is usual stuff. That was par for the course. The main thing here was, as Diptosh earlier and as Priya have spoken about, the fact is that the script was to announce Rahul Gandhi to be the to set the stage for Rahul Gandhi to be announced as the prime ministerial candidate of the Congress party in the UPA. The second, the unscripted part, and in fact, if you remember, in the 2007 Gujarat Assembly elections, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi had said at a public meeting she had called Maut ke Saudagar. She had called Narendra Modi Chief Minister Maut ke Saudagar, and after that, the defeat of the Congress party in the Assembly elections was often credited to Mrs. Gandhi's statement. And since then, the Congress party has been soft pedaling on that issue. They almost never talk about the fact that, that Narendra Modi's government may have been involved or that there are charges against it. And the fact is that earlier MJ Akbar on this panel spoke about how the other Congress party chief ministers and governments have also been involved. Well, here is the government, Narendra Modi's government from 2002. One of his ministers has been sentenced to prison for 29 years. So it's different from other cases. But the Prime Minister speaking up about Narendra Modi, it's definitely the big headline, definitely the big takeaway from this
All right,
press conference.
indeed. In fact, he repeated what he felt about Narendra Modi in the end, which was the final question. So quite effectively ending his entire press conference there with a punch. Mr. Sahi, we'll have to take a tiny